This is Corolla Digital. Welcome to Hammer and Nails with Skip and Alison Bedell.
And we're back on the air. Oh, that's good. Smash your chair into the table.
Sorry about that. We are so back. I'm Alison Bedell.
I'm Skip Bedell. What's going on, everybody?
Thank you for listening to Hammer and Nails once again.
Yeah, coming back strong, right?
Yeah.
Wow. People
Yeah.
seem to like us. They really, really like us.
I don't know about all that business, but some people do.
Who said that? Was it Anne Hathaway? Or like, who was on that
I don't know. I don't even want to
speech
think
on
about it. That's old. That was in a really, really annoying clip that was in one of our earlier episodes.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and like
it was
the
like an
soundbite.
Oscars acceptance
Yeah,
speech
the
or something.
soundbite just annoys me. Just the
Stop
thought of
it.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about
What's happening? What's going on there, Alison Bedell?
it. Not a whole lot. Well, yeah, a lot and not a whole lot. You know. I don't
Which
know.
one is it?
I don't know. It's kind of both. You know, I always got something going on.
Right. Right now you have something in your eye.
Yeah, I
It's
did.
your finger.
I did something. I did some interviews at work that were interesting this past week, and I found some interesting things on the news. We got a new segment coming up that I think will be amusing, and anything else with you? What's going on with you?
Yeah, we got a bunch of cool stuff coming up. Actually, we're lining up some cool interviews with people. We're not going to say exactly who they are yet, but we're going to be bringing you guys a couple of cool interviews I think you'll be happy to hear.
Yeah, a variety of people who do different things.
Yeah, people kind of from all walks of life.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to bringing that to you guys.
Yeah.
And, recuperating from the holidays and still on a...
We still haven't put anything away.
Yeah, what, right? Does anyone have this problem out there? It's like, all right, what are we like? We're a week or more after Christmas, and like there's still like the Christmas, like the gift bags. Like you go to your relatives and you get a couple of gifts, right?
Yeah.
And you bring them home, but like now you gotta like you kind of have to like incorporate them into your life, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how I was thinking about it. Because you have to find a place to put it.
Migrate them into.
You're so far from your mic.
Yeah, you have to. Here, let me see if I can fix that. Hey, now, how's that better?
So much better.
Oh, do I sound better now?
I bet you do.
All right, cool. You have to put the steak knives into the kitchen cutlery drawer, and you have
Nobody
to
give us steak knives.
Oh, whatever, you know what I'm saying. You gotta take your sweater and get it into the closet.
My dad gave me a sweater.
Yeah, and the 20 pairs of gloves.
My
and
dad
hats
bought me a sweater that I can actually wear for the second year in a row.
Yeah, he's
Can you
been doing
believe
good,
that?
right?
Yes, I am so impressed with his score. Like it's actually something that I wore.
Yeah.
That I like.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
Dad always manages to get some good gifts.
Because my dad doesn't really have fashion sense.
Right, but he does get some good gifts though.
He does.
He's like he thinks of good stuff. Like he thinks of stuff that I wouldn't have thought of so much, you know.
Yeah, I think he watches the Home Shopping Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he got us some cool things. He got us this. It's a car jump start thing, but it's like the size of like your hand.
Right.
Like it's this thing that is handheld, and you can plug it into your what is that hole? The cigarette lighter.
What is that hole?
Because who uses it anymore?
How many times have you said that, Alison Bedell?
Never.
You knew exactly what that hole was used for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the back one too.
Yeah, well, this particular one, I mean, really nobody uses the cigarette lighter for cigarette lighting anymore, right?
Yeah.
Right, they're more used for like electricity.
Does anyone use a cigarette lighter in their car anymore?
Will you stop saying that expression? Has anyone? Nobody's talking back to you.
I'm asking you.
No,
I'm asking
nobody's
you.
writing.
I'm asking you.
Oh.
I'm looking at you.
Okay.
I'm asking you a question.
Nobody uses it anymore is my answer.
There you go.
No.
See how easy that was?
It's really for the purpose of charging your phone, I think. Right, that's what you get. You get those.
That's
things
my
to put in
point.
there.
Look, when you buy the car,
So why is it called a cigarette lighter?
It comes with the lighter in the hole,
the coil that gets
right,
hot.
and then like as soon as you pull it out and you throw it in the glove box, you never look at it again.
I don't
right?
think anybody. Well, I suppose some people do. Disgusting, stinky people who stink up their car.
Well, now they have like the cigarette lighter. It's actually
That's so a deal breaker.
It's actually the lighter.
You're dating somebody for like the first time. and you get in their car and it stinks like cigarettes.
Yeah.
And they smoke in their car with the windows up. Forget it. You're done. Take me home.
That's it? It's over?
Yeah, it's over. It's over before it began.
That's it?
Yeah.
It's over?
Yeah.
Wow. What's on the top of the list of deal breakers?
Oh, God. You know, bad breath, maybe, like teeth.
That's a rough one, right?
Yeah, because you know what? We know somebody who will remain unnamed who has death breath. And it's what a lovely person, I'm not going to say male or female, lovely person whose company we enjoy.
Yeah.
I would enjoy it better from at least 6 feet away.
Oh. Okay.
And if it came down to if it was ever a dating situation, which it wouldn't be, but I'm saying it would never be because of that.
So that's a deal breaker.
That is a deal breaker.
But the cigarettes are up there. Well, that's probably a contributor to if there's some sort of breath issue. That could be a big part of the reason why, right?
Yeah, well, that's also a disgusting habit. Like, people need to break that habit.
Either
it's
that
so
or
not
you
cool.
just have dirty things in your mouth.
Or you don't get, you don't have proper dental hygiene. And you know what? And I must say, I often, because I don't drink nearly enough. I need to drink more fluids. I've never been.
I thought you were talking about alcohol.
No. Like, just in general, like, I'll have my cup of coffee in the morning, I get dry mouth, and I know that dry mouth stinks. And for all I know, I may have bad breath.
You know.
Thank you.
Oh, I tell you.
That's what I was. That's where I was going.
I would tell you, but listen,
but I don't
this
know.
shit's got to stop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I always assume that
I'd
I
throw
do.
you out on the front porch with a toothbrush. Okay, fix that shit right now.
Always,
bottle of Scope.
I try to not to speak with too much force, like with the breath coming out of my. You know what I mean? When I'm thinking that, oh my god, my mouth is really dry. I try to.
I just picture like you're going out the door with like a boot mark on your ass. And you're getting hit in the back of the head with a bottle of Scope.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like in the cartoons. Oh, God. No, I would never kick you in the ass.
See, now, what
I would throw the Scope bottle at you.
Think about how strong the attraction was, though, between us when we were first together. I mean, it was, like, unfucking-leavable.
Well, yeah, I would say that it was because...
But, like, think about now imagine that
you were
feeling
with a chick when you met me, so it must have been pretty damn strong, yeah.
the knot in our chests, like, from, like, longing, like, just wanting you so bad. What if your or my breath stunk?
You probably wouldn't be sitting here right now.
See, that's a tough one because
It's possible,
it's
right?
Yeah, because there's the difference between.
You just said it. It's like
No, it's a deal breaker, but there's a but. If it's either like when I met you, it was like meeting my soulmate, and I knew it the minute I saw you,
right?
As opposed to being in the dating game, going on Match.com, getting set up on a blind date, just a date. You know what I mean? Or just like meeting somebody who's
dating. You go into like one of those speed dating things, you sit across this table, and you're talking to number 9, and all of a sudden you're like,
I interviewed some motherfuckers who from across the desk I can smell that stank. Oh, it's so disgusting. These fucking people, some of them stink. Oh my god.
I think it's different though. Like if it happens, initial meeting, like when you first meet someone, then like what if that were to happen to me? Say I had some sort of health condition, whatever, and all of a sudden I develop.
I would assume that it was a fluke the first time. I would say, all right, maybe he just had a bad day, and I would give you another chance because of the feelings I had for you from the minute I saw you.
Okay, but I'm saying like right now, like years into our relationship, and all of a sudden I developed this situation.
Oh, if you just developed, because I think that people who are with people with bad breath get nose blind. They have to be. Oh. They fucking have to be, right? The person who's with this person that we know who's got death breath.
Oh yeah.
Right? That person can't possibly smell it and know that it's bad, and it continues to go on.
Right.
You'd think that the spouse of this person would have assisted them in remedying that ailment.
Well, you know what? Maybe.
Like, get some Biotine, motherfucker, and start swinging that shit 6 times a day.
Something, I don't know.
Holy shit.
All right, so that's a deal breaker. You're saying the cigarettes are up on the top of the list of, like, deal breaker.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's not cool. It's
Small dick,
disgusting.
the deal breaker? Yeah, probably, right?
You know what? I know somebody who...
Baby dick?
No, actually, no. You know what? Way back in the day, I did go out on a guy who had baby dick.
Oh.
He was huge. Like, he was a bodybuilder. He was huge, and I'm sure he was juicing.
Uh-huh.
because he had like the back knee. You know what I mean? It was like he was just too. You know what I mean? He was really big, and and he had baby dick. And I remember thinking to myself as we were lying out on the beach late at night in the dark, thinking to myself, God damn it, why did I let it get this far? Because now I got to finish.
At least you weren't choking on it.
True, yeah. And then you have to like fake the whole fucking thing and make like you're enjoying it, you know. Let me tell you guys something. It is so fucking easy to fake. Oh my God. Yeah.
Don't even tell me, because then I'll start thinking that you.
No, I'm not. I don't need to with you, because I would just tell you what to do.
Oh.
I mean, I think people who fake it do it because they're not. There was somebody that they can't tell what, you know, how to do it the right way, or
just tell me what to do.
I mean, like, yeah, if
faster, harder, slower.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's what you do.
But I think you should communicate. It's
of course.
Good. Yeah, it's good to, like, because I mean, you know, like, how else would the person know? Right. I mean,
you have improved cunnilingus drastically in like in the last like 6 months even.
Well, listen, I'm trying to live up to high standards, because, you know, look where you come from.
And do you remember what initiated that improvement?
We talked about it, right?
No. Do you remember what initiated that talk even? Something we saw on Twitter.
I don't know.
It was a post. It was like a picture. Like, what are those things called? Like, you know. Like,
oh yeah, right? yeah.
And it was like a lesbian guide of cunnilingus or something.
It was a picture of like
different things, like 6 or 7 different things to do.
Yeah.
It's how to do it like a lesbian.
Well, yeah, it was a picture of a vagina that had like all the different
like the anatomy,
like kind of like different,
and it shows you where to lick and how to lick. So
you're thinking, like, you know, so like as a dude, I mean, I guess you're thinking like, all right, it's all about like the button, you know what I'm saying? Like you're going like that's the hot spot, right?
Right.
But like what I found out from reading that post is that that's not like but
it'll work, but
there's a lot more going on. There's all these other spots and things that you should be doing. Like, I had no idea. I'm just like,
exactly. I'm like, slow down.
Let me just like smash. Let me just smash the button. You know, it's like, and then I'm like, wow. Really?
Yeah.
You're supposed to do that? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like all sorts of figure 8s and shit with your. I mean, what the fuck? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was like totally schooled on. You know, like.
Yeah.
I felt like I really learned something.
You really did.
And I will say that I must have, because you said like, wow, you've been paying attention. To what like you read in that thing.
The response has been, I think, corresponding with your increased efforts.
The results are, you know, you can't argue with the
results.
Yeah,
I mean, because it was whatever you were doing before was working.
Well, yeah, you never complained.
No, but sometimes
you didn't fake it though, right? It was
never.
No,
never faked it.
Okay, good.
But sometimes when it's a certain way, you know, if it's like concentrating on that one spot or going too fast, that's when you have to get your head into another place and start and get the thought process going to make you. Excuse me, I'm like choking on my own spit. You have to get like into into a thought to bring you to that place. Miss Jokes on Dick.
Jokes on Dick.
As opposed to coming from the feeling that you're getting. Because sometimes it feels so fucking good, you don't need to think anything. It's just like, that's going to do it. The feeling is going to do it.
Right.
But sometimes if the feeling is not doing it entirely, then you need to go someplace in your head, and then that makes it happen.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, it should be getting done the right way.
Yeah.
So, you know, I will say for all you guys out there, there is a lot to learn about the anatomy. It's not only just what you think that it might be.
Yeah.
And, you know, as good as you might think that you are, even if, like, you know, it's working all the time, trust me, if you do a little investigation, you'll find out there's some more going on out there that, like, you'll get even better results.
Yeah. And we've been together 6 years now, and it's never too late to improve.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You know, like, you gotta always strive to be just a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that idea. I'm so caught up in thinking about pussy that what were we talking about?
What? That happens to me too.
How did we get there? I don't remember what we were talking about.
How did we get on that? Wow.
Fuck.
All right. Well, at least you're not we're not in the recording booth with your boobs out again like last time. I was like, really?
I can take it out.
No.
I can distract you.
Yeah, I'm totally distracted.
What the fuck were we talking about?
It's me performing.
No, God, what did we start talking about? I talked about work.
We were talking about deal breakers.
Deal breaker,
Yeah.
right? Oh, bad breath.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how do I get to bad breath?
It's funny how bad breath went to eating pussy.
I know, but how we even start talking about bad breath?
We were just talking about deal. Oh, you started out with cigarettes.
Cigarettes, right?
Yeah, cigarette lighter.
I don't know, but I know I said something about I had a couple of interviews at work this past week or two.
Well, anyway, so your interviews, they were good?
No. Well, what was interesting about these two interviews in a row.
You get to talk to like the highest quality of society. So
yeah. So this past week, I had two people in a row, two separate offenders, both of whom just coincidentally happened to be in a vehicle that they had borrowed from somebody. And
Imagine
the vehicle happened to have in it a large amount of drugs that did not belong to them.
Of course not.
And money.
No way.
Yeah, this one dude you would not believe. He was so close to being so lucky. There was like 13 grand in the car.
Wow.
Plus like a fucking pound of marijuana.
Whoa.
Could you believe the luck? And I'm saying, who's the moron that lent you the car with all this money and drugs in it?
Wow, he must not have really wanted that money or those drugs.
No, and and I feel bad for the guy that got convicted, because really he's like, because, he had borrowed the car, yeah, he was guilty of that, but, I feel bad for, none of these guys. How does this keep happening to these people, that they keep getting caught with drugs that don't belong to them? What is wrong with the fucking police?
Doesn't anybody know what they're doing with their drugs? They just,
no, and then no.
Yeah.
And there was another guy who.
Man, what did I do with that pound of weed?
Seriously.
Right.
And $13,000.
Oh yeah, and my $13,000. I must have left it in the car.
Not only did he leave the guy leave it in the car,
I lent it to.
But the guy ended up taking the car to a hotel where he slept overnight, and the next day, when he went to go into the car, that's when he got stopped by police who searched him. But then as it turned, then it's he wasn't even in the car at the point. You know what I mean? It's no, it wasn't not my car, not my money, not my drugs. How do these people keep getting wrongfully convicted? And why do people keep pleading guilty to crimes that they have not committed?
I think we really need to get on the police and have them retrained to stop making all these mistakes.
I know,
because we keep arresting people.
Get to the real drug owners. Seriously,
it's funny that you have to listen to all this stuff.
I know.
For those of you who don't know, if you're just listening for the first time or whatever, Alison Bedell. Probation officer, investigator when we're not doing our show, and you get to speak to
the cream of the crop,
interesting characters on a daily basis.
Yep.
Right?
And I just said to the guy with the one with the had the money in the car, I said to him really, who is this guy that you borrowed a car? Who is that stupid? I said, are you laughing like I am in my head at that guy for leaving all that money in the car? Really?
He must have really not.
An idiot?
He must not have wanted that money.
I said, and speaking of idiots, do you really think that when you tell that story to people that they're looking at you and believing any of it? Right. Do you think that?
Did you say that?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome because these are hardened drug dealer gang members, and he just do you really?
Everything that you think in your head and how you think it, that's the joy of this job, is that I say it.
Right.
Did you really think that anyone was going to believe that story?
Yeah.
Really?
But then they sit there across the table from you, Officer Hotness, and they just they got to spill because they're and what else was in the car? Can you believe it?
I know. And then they continue to pour out the rest of their fucking life of crime. But I'm also at a point now where I told you I'm starting to just care less and less and less. It's just
but you're exceptionally good at what you do.
I am, and it goes unappreciated.
Oh, I think it's appreciated.
I don't know.
I appreciate it.
I
think the rest of society, and I think everybody listening to this appreciates it because, without people in law enforcement doing what they do at all different levels. You know, I mean, the world might be a fucked up place, but think about how fucked up it would be if there was nobody out there doing all the stuff that you guys do. It would really be fucked up. So
it's a system of mediocrity, you know, settling for more mediocrity, and nobody who does anything even a hair above that gets, you know, you don't get any extra credit, you don't get any extra thanks, you don't get a bonus, you don't get a raise.
Well, evidently crime does pay.
It does pay. It absolutely does pay.
Because you don't get punished, right?
Oh my God! Speaking of crime paying, I have this article that I came across. Now I know I always see online people making fun of people in Florida because Florida is just full of a bunch of crazy motherfuckers that also happen to be slightly retarded. Now, that's not to say that everybody there is retarded, but what I am saying is that if you are mildly retarded...
Don't be hating on the retards.
No, if you're mildly retarded and you like warm, hot, sweltering, wet, disgusting weather, you're in Florida. So I've come across this particular article online. I don't even know how I came across it. The title is, Woman Beats DUI Rap with Claim Her Body Brews Alcohol. This is fucking interesting. Actually.
But she got a like a microbrewery in her snapper?
Not in her snapper, but listen to this. This is very interesting.
Well, there is yeast in there, right? So that's one of the main ingredients.
Well, actually, you're getting close.
Really?
Okay, yeah. Let me find the part in the article.
I gotta hear this. Is she baking bread too? And there's a fucking bakery also.
Listen to this. The condition was first documented in the U.S. In 2013, where a 61-year-old man who had been experiencing episodes of debilitating drunkenness without drinking liquor. Let's see. This is awesome. The woman said that she hadn't had more than 3 drinks in the 6 hours before she was pulled over for erratic driving. She was charged with driving while intoxicated. The breathalyzer showed her blood alcohol content to be 0.33%. So what that is like more than 3 times the legal limit. That means basically 1/3
like
of your blood of your blood is alcohol. 1/3 basically is what that means.
Wow.
So listen to this. She went to this special clinic that diagnosed her with autobrewery syndrome and prescribed a low carbohydrate diet that brought the situation under control.
Wait a second. Autobrewery syndrome?
Yes. Listen to this. During the long wait for an appointment, she arranged to have 2 nurses and a physician's assistant monitor her to document that she drank no alcohol and to take several blood samples for testing. At the end of the day, she had a blood alcohol content of 0.36 without drinking any alcoholic beverages.
What the hell?
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep. Then they gave the woman a breathalyzer, and she blew into it every night for 18 days,
wait a second,
registering a 0.20 every time.
So wait, so she was drunk though? Was she?
Yes.
Okay, so
yes, she was
so
drunk.
her body was producing alcohol itself, and she actually was feeling the effects, getting drunk, without consuming any alcohol.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Let me see what. Here's the part of the article. It says that a town judge in the Buffalo suburb of Hamburg dismissed the drunken driving charges this month when she presented the doctor's research showing the woman had previously undiagnosed condition in which high levels of yeast in her intestines fermented high carbohydrate foods into alcohol. The rare condition, also known as gut fermentation syndrome, was first documented in the 1970s in Japan, and both medical and legal experts in the U.S. say it's being raised more frequently in drunken driving cases as it becomes more known. So it is an actual, apparent physical condition that is making people have alcohol in their system.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So autobrewery syndrome.
Yeah.
Like you make your own...
Your digestive system converts ordinary food into alcohol.
You're brewing your own beer.
Yes. Yes. Isn't that fucked up?
That is completely fucked up.
Now, I know that there are assholes out there that are going to try to claim this, but, you're going to need a shit ton of documentation,
I'm surprised that you haven't come across that yet.
No, I'm just waiting for it.
So you thought you've heard everything, and then you go and hear this.
Yeah, I mean, because I can't tell you how many people are like, no, yeah, man, they just, because of my history, like they arrested me because of my history, or, I pled guilty because, that was the best deal, or otherwise I would have had to, if I went to trial, I could have gotten, 25 to 30 years. So instead I took this plea deal where I'll only serve, 1 year. So I pled guilty. Because I say, why in the world would somebody plead guilty to something that they didn't do? And that's always their answer, because that was the better deal. It's like the sure thing. Yeah, because my history, my history. So, you're going to get some fucking crazy assholes.
Your history.
Because everybody's got these, history of felony convictions. They all, that's what they claim. I didn't do it, but because of my history, I figured if I plead guilty, they get the better deal of as far as the sentencing.
Unbelievable.
Everybody says the same bullshit. Everybody's full of
so there you
shit.
go. There's I guess you're going to...
That's very interesting.
That'll be the next...
I'm waiting for it.
That'll be the next story that you'll hear.
Yeah.
Only now you'll know that it's possibly that, it could be true. Otto Brewery.
And it's cheap, too. All you got to do is eat some pasta.
Think about that.
Think about
shit.
how cheap pasta is.
You just think about all the money you'd save on drinks. You don't have to go to the bar.
True
right?
Yeah.
So the body takes the sugar in their system, the carbohydrates, and
converts it to alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah.
And because they have a high yeast content,
yeah,
it's basically like, they're making beer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty fucking cool.
That is really, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can get like a pumpkin spice, like a
pumpkin brew,
like a winter ale. I'm just thinking, can you
if you do the cinnamon challenge, eat a box of pasta and then do the cinnamon challenge.
Is there any kind of seasonal flavoring involved with that? Fucking eat a candy cane, you could have like peppermint brew going on,
God,
right?
That's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, who knew?
Yeah. Now we do.
Yeah.
There were some questions that we hadn't gotten to in the last episode that I wanted to hit. One of them is for you, so we're going to get to Skip's tips now.
Whoa. Okay. Cool. Let's do it.
When helping people with their homes, they call Skip Bedells.
You want to avoid a headache and save money, he's the man to talk to. Skip Bedells.
All right, this question is from Michael Sclafani. You remember him? We met him at Pound. Do you see that cat scratching right in the middle?
Are you serious? Are you like completely serious right now, Cat? What the fuck?
He's hungry.
What are you doing? This is what happens when he wants to eat.
Yes.
And he's trying to tell you right now, okay, it's time to feed me, bitch.
Yep.
So he's going to just now trash everything in sight until
everything.
you get up and you go and feed him.
He's going to wait. He's going to wait.
Really, Curly? Really?
So this question, he's trying to figure
record
out.
a podcast over here, man.
Well, if you don't shut up, I'm trying to ask a question here for you. I'm trying to figure out how to get old water stains off of a bay window ledge. I sanded down the wood with 100 grit and 150 grit sandpaper, but the water stains from the flower pots that have been sitting there will not go away. What can I do?
Yeah, well, you can keep sanding and sanding until you get pretty deep down into that wood. Here's a question. Is it painted or is it stained? If it's painted, you're going to need to put a really good quality primer on there. I like to use the brand Kilz, K-I-L-Z. There's also a Zinsser. That's a really good brand. They come in water base and also oil base. I found that for the really stubborn stains, if you're going to paint that ledge, which probably on the bay window, it's a good chance that it's painted. You'll need to put, probably with that water stain, an oil-based primer on it, and maybe even 2 coats of it. And that's going to basically absorb and hide that stain, or else it's going to keep bleeding through everything that you do. You can paint 10 coats of paint on there. It's going to bleed through. So water stains can be really difficult to get rid of, especially in woods and different species of woods. The water will affect the grain differently, and it will expand the grain, and it makes it very hard to go away. So if you're painting it, definitely look into getting to one of those 2 brands of a primer, and you can try the latex, but if that doesn't work, you're more than likely going to need an oil-based primer.
Or you can just knock that whole fucking shit right off and put up a new sill.
Yeah. Yeah, or you can just demo out the whole sill, bust out the old Sawzall, hack it out of there, and cut a new piece of pine or hardwood and make a new sill for it.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I recommend.
Choose your poison.
Yeah.
How many times are you going to keep sanding that thing? Rip it out.
Ted Schneider asked, what jobs should you never do without a helper or another contractor? Or another contractor, or another carpenter, I think he meant.
What job should you never do without another person? Well, stuff that's dangerous and requires helpers, definitely if you're working up high on the house and you're
structural beam.
You're up and down on the ladder. If you're holding any type of structural work, to where you need another person to really support that properly. Some guys will work with dead men, they call them, and it's kind of like they'll build like a prop, that'll hold up their material while they work. There's some guys that just want to work alone. I kind of understand sometimes when some of the people I see on these job sites. But, any type of structural work where you're going to need support and while you fasten. Also, if you're up on the roof, it's always good to have somebody with you because, if you get hung up to where you're in a situation to where you're going off that roof or you need someone's assistance there or you're trying to get that material up to the area where you're working, you're going to find it's a lot easier if you have an extra pair of hands. So that would be my recommendation to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Skip's tips.
I've also found that a lot of people that work in electrical, too, will have, depending upon if they're doing services, where they're dealing with high voltage, they'll also have a helper that will basically, be there to assist them. So to make sure that, they're not getting themselves into a compromising situation. And, anytime you have an extra pair of hands on the job, you're not doing everything yourself. You can focus more on the safety and pay attention to the details rather than trying to do everything yourself. So there you go.
You've been working a lot by yourself lately.
Well, I've been working late. So even after my guy's been going home, I've been staying there to try to stay on target. I think we talked about that in the last episode of the douche that stood me up on my job site to put me behind schedule. So
what was that asshole's name again?
I don't even remember. Anyway, it's because, it was a holiday week. It's like, it's a tough time to get people to come there and work on the weekends. Everyone's away. So, I do what I got to do to stay ahead of schedule. So, I was pulling some long days.
Yeah.
Doing it.
Oh, now he's trying to rub against everything that...
He's just going to tear the whole place up.
He's going to tear the house up.
He's like, look at him looking at you.
Yeah, he's looking to see what he can rip out. He wants to jump on the table and
he
wants to walk on the laptop.
Yeah, and he is going to come over and just trash everything. He likes to get on the desk in the office and he stands on anything that's paper, like if there's a pile of papers on it, he'll stand on it and like run in place and do I call it like a kitty burnout. He'll just start like running as fast as he can on the paper as if it's like a treadmill, flinging every single envelope and piece of paper off. It's like, everything goes flying off there. And he just looks at you like, yeah. What
and he also likes to lick and bite the paper.
He loves to do burnouts on the desk.
Yeah, and everything ends up on the floor.
Curly, you're crazy.
Oh, God, did you hear about Bill Cosby finally got arrested?
Bill Cosby.
Fucking serial rapist of the century finally got arrested.
How did it take this long even? I thought they would have arrested that guy a long time ago.
There was some jurisdiction in another state where she had filed a complaint and they declined pressing charges against him, I guess based on whatever lack of evidence that they felt that they had at the time. I think that the DA at the time said that it would have brought too much like negative publicity to him and the woman. It was like really fucking ridiculous, whatever reason that they didn't press charges. So anyway, so now it was like the last day within the statute of limitations and they finally arrested him. And have you noticed that he's been suing lately the victims for what was he suing for?
Wrongful accusation or some like.
I'm just having such a brain fart right now. But he was basically.
I don't know what that smell was.
Asshole.
It's like, what is that smell?
So basically, I think that was the kind of move to get women to think twice about coming out and speaking against him, for fear that they would be sued, because he can afford to sue people, whereas if you get sued, you have to hire an attorney to defend yourself.
But what are we up to? Like 40 women?
No, like over 50.
All right, so
Bill Cosby is a rapist.
If it's any more than one,
he's a serial rapist,
right? I mean, like you have to ask yourself. We're talking about over decades of time. 50 plus women, and who knows how many more are going to come out of the woodwork now. It seems like there's more and more on a regular basis because they see like, hey, other people are talking about it. I'm going to talk about it too now. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's going to be double that amount. But here's the thing. How can he even say for a second that he's being, wrongful?
This is the woman that they had gotten the transcript of who he had settled with, where he admitted to using Quaaludes to incapacitate
he
women.
was asked, I think, during some
that
deposition.
it was this woman.
Right. So evidently they made the findings of that deposition public.
Right.
And it seems almost comical to me that Bill Cosby would think that we're so stupid to think that these 50 plus women now have formed this conspiracy to take Bill Cosby down.
Well, here's the thing. The country is comprised of many stupid people. And pretty much for everybody who's on one side of an argument, there's going to be somebody on the other side. So there are plenty of people that actually support him and believe him. Apparently, those are the people that were too ugly to fuck.
I feel your pain, man. I got to use Quaaludes to get laid, too. That shit's expensive, too. Can't even buy that shit anymore.
Oh, my God.
When I listen to it, I'm just like...
And they're judging, and those stupid assholes are saying he didn't do it based on what? Because he was on a television show? Because he played a dad on TV? Because he's a comedian? What? What is it that you are have done in life that makes you so far above raping so many women? Like, what did he do? And meanwhile, all these people, they don't fucking know him. You know what I mean?
Let's not forget he did create Fat Albert. So I mean,
you know what? He couldn't have done it then.
Hey, Bafaba Albert.
What is that?
Remember the dude on Fat Albert that had the hat that he pulled down over his head? It looked like a clamshell on his head. That had the eye holes and stuff.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that guy's name?
I don't know. I never.
Did you watch that cartoon when you were a kid?
Not.
Oh my God!
I saw it, but I didn't
he was
watch
the voice of all the characters on Fat Albert. Yeah.
Well, then he couldn't have done it.
No, he created Fat Albert. Yeah, he created that cartoon.
No, but then he couldn't have raped.
That's what I'm saying. Anyone that could create something like that, how could they possibly have raped not one, not 5, but 50 women?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
No, it's just
he couldn't have done it
because
he's funny. He couldn't have done it.
Right, and he's got some really cool sweaters. Have you seen those Argyle sweaters? I mean, where can you even buy those?
Oh God, I don't know what's wrong with my thumb. I'm getting a cough here, but oh my God, you're exacerbating my condition.
That's not the only thing you're choking on. Don't lie.
Oh, you are just too fucking much.
Some residue in there.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Oh God,
Tell me.
Oh, I don't really have anything else to say about that.
Oh,
besides,
you're like, oh, hey, guess what?
No, I'm just really happy that he got arrested
got
because I think he's just a disgusting animal, and I couldn't be happier that he got arrested.
Listen, there are a lot of fucked up people in the world. You hear, it always seems like there's some celebrities that that it's like sports guys and rock stars and who's ODing and who's getting charged with gun offenses. And it's like, dude, you got the world by the balls,
Didn't Steve-O get...
what do you do? Yeah, oh my God, yeah, Steve-O's in the news.
What happened to
Steve-O from Jackass. I just read something on him the other day that he was in the news. Oh my God, thanks for reminding me. He, last August, was arrested out in California. He climbed to the top of a crane in Hollywood, and he hung this banner that he had made up that said SeaWorld sucks. He's like a big protester.
Oh, yeah. The SeaWorld does suck.
Yeah, absolutely. Against all the the treatment of the orcas and all that.
And keeping all those big animals
he's been
confined.
a really big activist to try to free the whales and and all that. So anyway, he climbs to the top of this crane at a construction site like a maniac, it's 50 feet up in the air. He has this banner that he hangs, is flying this banner, SeaWorld sucks, and then he lights off a bunch of fireworks from the fucking crane, probably like a bottle rocket out of his asshole, like a jackass stunt. But yeah, so they get him down off the crane and they arrest him, for, it was like, public, whatever it was. I don't know what the charges were, like, lighting off fireworks in the public and endangering the...
We're very unprepared today.
So, well...
we don't know anybody's charges.
No, if you hang on one second,
no,
actually...
but it's not irrelevant.
I have it, I have it right here. Okay. In August, he was arrested for climbing atop a crane in a Hollywood construction site and setting off fireworks while hanging a sign that read, SeaWorld sucks for all to see. Following that stunt, Stevo pled no contest to trespassing and firework possession charges. Okay, so there you go. And on this past Thursday, it was basically time for him to now settle up and do his time. He got arraigned way back then. I guess he pled no contest, and now he's going to serve his time.
He got sentenced?
Yeah, so he was sentenced to like 30 days.
But he only serves hours worth.
He was released after 9 hours. Evidently due to,
Welcome to California.
Overcrowding the Los Angeles jails. And so this is what Steve-O had to say.
If you want to kill somebody, that's the place to do it.
Yeah.
They don't do shit.
They have Steve-O. They interviewed Steve-O when he got arrested, and this is what he had to say. I just got sentenced to 30 days in the L.A. County Jail, and this is what I have to say about it. Considering I've become clean and sober, a dog rescuing vegan, I must say that I'm ready to go to jail. Not just because it will bring so much attention to the plight of orcas in captivity, but because it's a nice way to let people know that I haven't lost my edge. So I guess this is his way to tell people, like, he's still doing crazy stunts and also, I guess he's for a good cause. Steve-O jokingly captioned this in a cartoon that he put out on Instagram. And, it goes on to say that in the end, he didn't even really serve any time anyway. They sentenced him to 30 days, and he wound up getting out in 9 hours. So There you go. Good for you, Steve-O. It shows, once again, crime does pay.
It does.
You will not be.
But
you will not do any time.
Yeah, like what I actually agree with the sentiment. Yeah, bring attention to the fact that SeaWorld does suck, and I think it is worth that 9 hours in jail. Because it brought attention to something that wouldn't have gotten as much attention otherwise.
Well, he went on to say here, he said, what can I say? I'm a jackass. He said, my whole crane climbing fireworks debacle really turned out to be pretty meaningful in the end. He said, I mean, if your goal was to make a statement about captivity, you might as well get yourself locked up.
Right.
Yeah, so that was
to punish
that was his motivation.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, very interesting.
But he was standing up for a good cause. So.
Okay.
I mean, I could think of other ways rather than climbing 50 feet up a crane and lighting off fireworks.
Yeah.
But he got the message across. Didn't we see something in the news not too long ago about SeaWorld? And SeaWorld came out with this whole big...
They said that they weren't...
press campaign.
They weren't going to... What was...
Well, a lot of people... because SeaWorld's stock is like through the floor.
Yeah.
No one's going to SeaWorld anymore. And, the attendance at the Orca show, which was their main
They tried to put out
pull,
that big propaganda piece on TV, like where it was promoting how much they love all of the animals there and the good things that they're doing for them. It was all fucking propaganda.
Right.
They weren't showing, of course, any of that bullshit that they really do.
They've been pressed by many different
animals.
sources to release the whales, and and that they're just keeping them in captivity, for profit, and it's not in whales' best interest.
Right.
I mean, think about it. These whales swim around the globe.
Right. They're not saving them from anything.
The planet. So now, even if you put this thing in a giant... Really, dude? I
love when you call the cat dude.
No, I mean, like, what? What are you doing?
They're both trying to get our attention.
Oh, yeah,
it's time to eat.
He's hungry. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to tear this place up.
Yep. That's what you said about my pussy before.
Oh, yeah. Love to fucking tear that shit. Kill it. So there you go. I was saying about SeaWorld. You always get me distracted with the boobs or like the...
Or the pussy.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, SeaWorld released this whole statement before. They said, we are not going to return the whales to the ocean where they belong. We, in fact, are going to continue the Orca show because there was talks about them discontinuing the whole Orca show altogether and basically just doing away with it. Oh. And they decided on the corporate level, I guess, that they're going to continue despite all the lack of attendance. I mean, there's basically no one. If you look at these shows now, the whole stadium setup they have around the, around the tanks where they do the show, you can see, like, you go on YouTube or whatever, there's no one in the stands. Like, no one goes. There's very little attendance. But they decided to put out that piece saying that they are now taking a higher...
Well, they said they're going to phase out the killer whale display in San Diego. So only in some places, because they have multiple...
Well, it's in Florida, it's in California, there's a number of them, right?
Yeah.
So
they're going to phase it out.
Phase it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
tell that to the whales.
Yeah.
We're gonna phase you back to the ocean. Can you imagine, like, swimming thousands and thousands of miles on a regular basis? They migrate around the planet, and now you put an animal like that in a tank.
In a tank.
You know, it's like
pathetic.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, but people frequenting that park and giving them money, I liken that to people going to puppy stores and buying a dog.
Right.
Because they're supporting that industry, that practice, which ultimately behind it is abusive. Yeah. And by going to a puppy store, you're supporting puppy mills and the poor treatment of the animals in the cages, and you're all same thing with the orca whales.
Well, I'm sure that they'll say that they have the best quality people there, the most educated, the most highly trained staff to care for these whales.
Well, they say it, so it must be true.
And they get great medical care, they get fed the best food and everything else. But there's no denying that you can't take a creature, no matter what kind of animal it is, and take it out of its natural environment and expect it, especially one like that that on a regular basis, travels thousands of miles, and think that animal's going to be happy in a confined space like that.
They don't care because they're happy making money.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's all about the dollar, right?
All about the dollar. Money, 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 money.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start this new segment of my random thoughts. Which sometimes are really meaningless, and sometimes are sometimes very deep, or sometimes just something that I see. Because what I found is that usually when in trying to think about what we're going to talk about on the podcast, I'll type something in my notepad on the iPhone, and when we start talking, and I look at my notepad on the iPhone, I look at that and I think, well, it was interesting at the time I thought about it, or what am I going to say about that? I don't know. So
now it's just stupid.
And so now I figure maybe this can be a way to start a topic. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I think when I first started recording them, I was sounding like
well, they were funny to you.
Robotic. Yeah, I think I was sounding robotic when I was recording because I was like, sometimes like I'm in a public place and I'm like, blah, 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 like into my phone. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to say it real quick so I remember that's what I wanted to talk about.
Do you actually say blah 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 blah?
And I just said it right now.
Oh. Well, that's not very interesting.
So, and the thing with these random thoughts is, look how many of them I've got in here.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah. I don't remember what they are. I don't remember what I said. There's multiple, like, various days. So they'll either suck and we'll talk about something, or I'll remember what happened. I don't know. They're just random thoughts that go through my head.
Just random thoughts.
Just random thoughts. So let's just pick one.
All right. Well,
let's just.
This is
my first random thought. I think.
What do you got?
I think my first random thought. I was like, I was speaking like I was dictating something. I think I sounded pretty stupid. Let's see.
Oh, let me see. Let me check it out.
Speakerphone. There you go.
I would love it if the exit of the store, when the buzzer went off because somebody took something with a tag on it, if it said, "Stop thief, stop thief."
I was in Marshall's, and when they don't take the tag off the shirts or pants or whatever, and it's like doo doo, you got to come back in, and you got to. So I would love it instead of a beep if it was like, if it said "Stop thief."
Stop thief. Yeah. You know what's fucked up? You know how many times I've walked into a store and the fucking thing goes off? I'm like, I just got here.
I'm returning my stolen merchandise.
No, I don't even have anything in my hand. I'm walking into the store. I just got out of my car. Really? What the fuck is that?
Yeah, so that was my meaningless random thought, but it was a random thought.
Yeah.
I found that one.
Yeah,
that one
stop
amusing.
thief. As if you're standing online for 30 minutes and like your back hurts and everything hurts and you're holding your packages and finally you get it to the register and you finally get out of this fucking store. Stop thief! Stop thief! Then you got to do the chasing you down with a rubber glove. Going to do a cavity search.
man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, stop thief.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Let's see.
I wish the line at Marshall would slow down so I could look at all of the shit.
I was on Christmas shopping.
Oh, yeah, they got...
And there were so many cashiers.
Yeah, they got the last minute shit, like all
that's good shit.
Yeah, that whole line that you have to walk past, you have no choice but to look at while you're waiting online for the register.
I like that. That's like part of the shopping experience.
Yeah, that's
now.
actually really smart marketing.
Yes,
right?
and they put good stuff there.
Because you're forced to stand there and look at it.
Yes.
While you're waiting.
Yes, and it's good stuff too, and it's like all like small shit that you can pick up and hold easily.
Right.
It's like the makeup, and they got the candles, socks.
It's probably stuff I would imagine it's like $20 or less, and it's like it's any one of those things. You're like, all right, I'll get it.
Right.
Like whatever.
Yeah, because you didn't find it anywhere else in the store. Yeah.
And then they got like the section where it's all like candy and like
chocolate
covered freaking.
That I love
nuts
looking through all that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So if you didn't go down that aisle while you were shopping in the store, now you are forced to be reminded that you know what, your willpower is not welcome here.
Right.
Oh, you're going home with some chocolate covered fucking raisins, motherfucker. Whether you like it or not.
Yes. And let me tell you,
and inevitably, I always do.
Yes. I got some chocolate. I came to the conclusion that not chocolate covered everything tastes good, because if it's shitty chocolate, it's shitty altogether. You know, I bought some things of different brands.
I disagree there. I think
Really?
if you get chocolate covered dog turd, it would taste fucking good. Yeah.
You know what?
Anything with chocolate.
I can get you that.
That's probably a delicacy in some part of the world.
I can do that.
Chocolate covered dog shit.
We've got 5 litter boxes.
Oh, great. Thanks.
I can do that for you.
Yeah.
Whenever,
thanks.
your wish is my command.
Oh, yeah. I got a couple other wishes for you.
Okay. Let's see what else we got here.
People in the HOV might have been going faster than the rest of the traffic.
That fucking annoys me. When you're in the HOV, why aren't you going faster than the rest of the fucking lanes? Like, why did you get in the HOV if you don't want to go faster?
Yeah, don't even get me started with this, because it's all like the people in their fucking Priuses and like all like like all the little fucking leafers and those motherfuckers that get in the HOV lane, and like the rest of the world is trying to get somewhere, dude. You know, like you get in the HOV and you do 40 miles an hour on a 5-lane.
And if that's
major
you
highway.
and you're listening to this right now, can you do me a favor and like fucking message me and let me know why the fuck you drive like a moron? Oh my God. I can't stand that, because then you get in the HOV because you're expecting it's going to go faster, and then you're watching all the other lanes fly by you. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but the problem is you cannot pass in the HOV lane. When you're in the lane,
Right.
you can't jump out of it and go around the person who decided they're going to drive 40 miles an hour on the highway. You do it. You got your little tin badge there. You got your get out of jail free card, officer. Bedell. Yeah, you do that shit all the time. If I do it, I'll wind up getting, I'll get a ticket.
Because it's ridiculous, really. They're holding up
It
traffic.
is, but that's the
I've
thing.
got some place to be.
It's like when you're on the highway, if you're going to drive slow or even just the speed limit, you're in the right lane, right? Typically, right? Like that's, and the fast lane is usually toward the left, right?
Right.
But the HOV, or the commuter lane, as some states they call it, are always to the extreme left, right? The extreme left. You never see a commuter lane on the right side.
No, it's a left.
Okay. And once you get into that fucking lane, you cannot get out until you see the sign that says exit the lane here.
Right.
So now you get behind someone that's in that HOV. You finally clear out of traffic. Yes, clear sailing. You come over the hill, and there's a dude in the Prius doing 40.
So, dude, if that's you, if you're listening right now, and you're the dude doing that,
stop it!
Stop it, you dumbass! Fucking asshole. All right, here's my next random thought.
I like this.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Stop touching the volume when you're trying to talk to me.
What was that?
Stop touching the volume when you're trying to talk to me. It was you.
Oh, that's
we were in the car together.
I was going to say, wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, because you touched the fucking volume. You were trying to tell me something, so you lowered the volume again.
Yeah.
I'm trying to listen to the Howard Stern show, and you lowered the volume again.
Well, when we're in the car together, which is not that often.
But listen, put it this way. If I want to hear what you're saying and I can't hear it, I'll lower the volume.
Oh, is that what'll happen?
That's right.
Oh,
See?
okay.
See how it goes?
Maybe when I talk to you, I want your undivided attention.
Then maybe you should shut the fuck up
Maybe
and wait
you
until
should
I'm
clean
done
the
listening
shit out of
to
your
the
ears and
radio
listen
show.
to me, bitch.
You can hold it in. Once it's on the radio, once it's gone, I can't rewind it.
I can't compete with Howard Stern.
Then you just need to zip
If
your
I'm
lip.
talking, then I got to shut him off because you're not going to listen to me if he's on the radio.
Well, nothing that you're saying is that important, is it?
That's what I'm saying. You'd much rather listen to Howard than you fucking asshole. Thanks a lot. You see what I'm working with here, people?
Oh God, I can't stand it. It's like as soon as your mouth starts to move, your hand starts to reach for the knob.
Listen, see,
what makes you think?
You don't usually complain when my mouth starts to move and I reach for the knob. You're usually liking that very much, so use your words carefully there, Bedell.
Oh, okay, you're right.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what else I got here.
Guy threw the muffin in the garbage.
Oh my God. We were at the Fox studio. You were doing Fox and Friends, okay?
They got the best muffins there.
They got,
in the green room, right?
It's right. No, it's not really a green room. It's like a little...
like bagels and muffins.
It's like a
and all
little
that
area
shit.
off the hallway where they got coffee and tea and some pastry beverages. I mean, pastry snacks, including muffins and shit like that. So you ever see that episode of Seinfeld where...
Muffin Tops?
No. Where Costanza is at a party and somebody throws, I think, a piece of cake in the garbage, but it's a perfectly good piece of cake. So he goes to take it out of the garbage because he wants it, and it was on the top. And somebody saw him do it. He's like, but it was on the top. It was like there was nothing dirty about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But somebody caught him and they thought he was disgusting, and but it was on the top. So meanwhile,
it's still on the plate, right?
Yeah.
Right, like a paper plate.
And he
or
goes to
whatever.
take it out, but then somebody saw him, and that was the whole thing. It was so funny about it. So now you were outside getting your shit prepared, and I was looking at all the pastries. Now they keep refreshing the pastries. A guy comes by with a whole brand new tray.
You got a pastry fluffer?
Yes, exactly.
He's fluffing the pastry
This
dish.
fucking guy takes the dish with the leftover pastries, but there must have been about maybe 8 things on there.
When you say leftover, we're talking like they're 20 minutes old?
I don't know how old they are, but it went from being like a long plate full of things to maybe 8 things left. He comes with a new plate and takes the old one with 8 things on it, which is fresh still, and throws it into the garbage.
Oh, that's not right.
So meanwhile, I'm like, why couldn't he push them onto the new plate? And so I'm standing there next to the garbage, looking in the garbage, thinking about Costanza. Because I'm like, you know what? Those are perfectly good muffins. I wanted to take it out of the garbage. I didn't, but I wanted to.
Why would you throw a perfectly good muffin in the garbage?
Exactly. Why? That made no fucking sense. Somebody had walked by as I was looking in the garbage, and then I knew that they were looking at me looking in the garbage. So I had to explain why I was looking in the garbage. Like, I had to say, you ever see Seinfeld?
That's funny.
Yes.
That's really funny. You got Costanza.
Totally, because I was like, I wanted to take it out.
We need to make that a thing. Hashtag Costanza. Right? When you get caught doing something, but you rationalize it. You think there's a really good reason that your hand was in the garbage pail.
Yeah.
And someone else sees
I didn't put my hand in the garbage, but I wanted to just for the principle of it, throwing away perfectly good food.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's like, not only the kids starving in Africa, there's kids starving in New York City, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Why are you throwing away the muffins?
Yeah.
All right, so that was my thought on that day. Here's another one.
Look at these two.
Look at these two fucking fighting.
Oh, Curly's gonna kick his ass, man.
Aww.
They go at it really good too.
Yeah, they're having a cat fight right now.
That's awesome.
They have food service that wear latex gloves that protect no one.
Oh God, have you ever been into like a deli or a bagel store and the people behind the counter they're wearing latex gloves?
Right.
All right. So now what are they? First of all, what's the purpose? What are they protecting? What's the purpose of wearing the latex gloves?
Well, it doesn't really make any sense.
Answer the question. What's the purpose of wearing the latex gloves?
I guess so whatever germs or whatever is on their hands doesn't get on the food, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So now that they've prepared your bagel and they've wrapped it in the paper, they put it in a paper bag, and then they bring it to you, and then they tell you that will be $3.50.
Then they take the money.
Then they take the money in their gloved hand.
They count the money.
They put it in the drawer. They give you your change, your coins, your bills, which have been in people's assholes.
Oh.
And then they take the next customer and do not change their
They start
gloves.
slapping his bologna on the roll.
And they make their food next.
Oh, no.
What's the point of wearing the gloves at all at that point?
You know,
they don't change their gloves. Have you ever seen a food service worker change their gloves?
I just got a little skeeved out right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I recall seeing that and thinking the same thing to myself, but, you know, it kind of was a passing thought, and you just, like, it just became very real again.
Yeah.
You're right. Like those gloves, it would almost make more sense to not have gloves at all and wash your hands each time you make someone else's food.
Exactly.
Because he's been wearing those gloves all day.
And the only thing he's protecting is his own hands from touching the disgusting money.
Took out the garbage pail, dumped it in the bag,
Right.
you know, like...
Right.
Wiped down the bathroom.
Right. So in other words, it's like, okay, congratulations, dude. You protected yourself.
Right.
You're not protecting the public.
Yeah.
So what the fuck?
You know, you would think there would have to be, they have like pretty strict health code laws with food service places and all that. You think there'd be some inspector going around saying, dude, you can't do that.
It's like,
you got to change your gloves every time you make.
Somebody should mark the box with the gloves, like with like a marker, so that you know that if at the end of the day or even the next day it's the same mark, that nobody's been using the fucking gloves. Because really, you think about how many customers you go through at least a box a day.
Well, really, it would also, if things were happening properly, it would also be another way to kind of count like how many customers you served, right? Like the boss could count the pair of gloves. You know what I'm saying? Like you made 50 sandwiches today because there's 100 gloves in the garbage.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. People are just disgusting. So you know what, people? I have actually in the past been with somebody, I don't remember who, but I remember this in my past, somebody asking the person behind the counter to put on a new pair of gloves.
Nice.
To change their gloves.
I like that.
Yeah, so people do it.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Let's start a movement.
Let's start a movement of asking
Hashtag
food
change
service.
your glove, motherfucker.
Yeah. Asking food service workers to change their gloves before they serve you.
That is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I thought of that. Starting a national movement.
Yeah.
Soon to be worldwide.
Yeah.
Hashtag change your gloves, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's it.
Change your gloves, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
I like it.
Let's make it happen.
Do you want to hear another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hit me again.
Okay.
Before the cat trashes the whole house.
Why the fuck do I have to dial 1 for English? Can't they assume that New York or even United States phone numbers are English?
You ever do any fucking thing you call any business, dial 1 for English. Why? How about, if you need Espanol, press in numero dos. Okay, so if you don't understand what they just said, just wait.
Right.
Which means you're going to get English.
Right.
Why do I have to press 1?
Well,
the fuck is that?
There's probably more people speaking Spanish now than
Oh my God, it's so annoying. I think that was calling Abercrombie and Fitch that day to bitch out about the fucking store not opening, and they told me to
surprise.
Fucking press 1.
Oh, so in addition to all of the other things that you had to wait for and aggravation, now you had to hold because you're penalized because you speak English.
Yes.
But if you were speaking Spanish, you would have been helped right away.
Exactly.
Oh, interesting.
So I think this next one might be related to that. So I'm just going to play one more.
So when I call to complain about something at a corporate phone number, why the fuck are they giving me an email address to write to? I'm calling because I have the phone in my hand, you asshole. If I wanted to write a fucking letter, I would have went online and then looked up the email address and written a fucking letter.
Exactly.
Why? Because they don't want to talk to you. That's easy.
I called to complain. I give you a fucking email
That was
address.
easy. Nobody wants to hear you complain. Shit, the next time you start bitching me out, I'm going to send you my fucking email. The next time you say something to me, I'm going to be like, just email me.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome. Thank you for that. I am so using that.
Oh, my God. So, yep, those are the random thoughts
Next
that go
time
through my
I
head.
get some bullshit for not doing the dishes or some fucking whatever it is, email me. Love it.
God.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, so now you know what goes through my head.
You know what was going through my head today? I'm looking at some of the guys that are on my job site, many of which I know for years and years, and all like really good quality dudes, right? And like people that work in construction are pretty banged up. Like dudes like hard looking dudes. Everybody is like I mean, it's
They're probably wondering why are you so pretty.
I don't have an answer for that.
Why are you so pretty?
I don't have an answer for that. I fucking work harder than anyone. I don't know. It's just whatever it is. But it's just, I don't know that you could say it's a stereotype, but it's a hard business. It's hard work. It's physical labor. It's like, like everybody's hands are busted up. But I come home all day. You're always like, oh my God,
you're always bleeding.
Yeah. Your hands are a mess. Everything hurts. But it's like I was looking at a couple of dudes that work with me today, and both I know them for years. I love them. They're great guys. One of them has like half the teeth in his mouth, like gone, right? And
I know.
Like heavy smoker.
What happened to the false teeth thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because for a while there, it was like, oh my God, looks like a new person.
Yeah. Like, wow. Right?
Whole new grill.
Yeah. So I just got started, and again, knowing these people years, I know like their lifestyle. I've spent many a nights, after we go to jobs and stuff, we'll go out and we'll have a beer with the guys or whatever, and you get to know people, and and it's like, I kind of wonder, like, it made me think of this quote that I read quite a while ago. I'm going to read it for you, actually. It's by this author that wrote a bunch of well-known papers. He wrote this book a couple of years ago that was on a best-selling list and all that. His name is Hunter Thompson. You probably heard this quote before. It says, "Life should not be a journey to the grave with the intention of arriving safely in a pretty and well-preserved body, but rather to skid in broadside in a cloud of smoke, thoroughly used up, glass of whiskey in one hand, cigar in the other, totally worn out, loudly proclaiming, 'Wow, what a ride.'" So it made me think of that quote. Some of these dudes that I know, like, they live hard. They smoke, they drink, but
I don't think that's the spirit in which they are all busted up.
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying.
I think it's people who aren't taking care of themselves properly.
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm going. I'm not saying their physical injuries. I'm saying their lifestyle, right? So I know many of them personally. I know some of them. Their lifestyle is like, they smoke, they drink, they whatever it is they do, and you can see it on them. Some people you can see are like weathered. Like, wow. You ever look at someone like, wow, this guy's lived a rough life. He lived a hard life. It's obvious that he's probably a heavy smoker, heavy drinker, whatever, right? And it makes you think, like. And I've talked to people about that. Even like some rock stars. You look at some like famous like rockers that have like, done everything and seen everything, right? But they live hard, and a lot of them die young, And it's like that whole quote made me think, like, all right, so people take really good care of themselves. And where I'm going with this is like, we just got past New Year's.
What's your point?
We just got past New Year's. Everyone has their resolutions, right? I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna live healthy. I'm gonna get in the gym. I'm gonna stop drinking.
I'm gonna fall asleep if you don't get to the point.
All right, shut the. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you. The point was that this person was saying this, like, life is not meant to be lived like everything is. You got to keep it in check, and worried about how you're going to end up, worrying about how long you're going to stretch it out, and how good a shape you're going to be in, and you're going to be in a great shape at 70. Some people think that what, I'm going to live it out hard right now every day, like today is the last day. And I'm not going to worry about that. And it's like it's such a different way of looking at life. And I know a few people that live their lives like that. They're awesome people, good quality people, but they don't think like, a lot of us do. So now coming to the point that we just passed all these resolutions, none of these dudes that I'm thinking of, they might say it out loud. Oh, I'm going to quit smoking. Or they say it like, oh, I'm going to quit smoking. Right? Because they're never going to fucking quit smoking. It's like they're never going to stop doing what they're doing because that's the way they live their lives.
Right.
It's a really interesting, it's an interesting comparison to see how people think. And some people just get behind their lifestyle and they say, this is the way I want to live and I like living like this, So it just made me think of that. You're talking about random thoughts. I had a random thought today sitting and talking with some of my guys at lunch.
As you were observing the missing teeth, thinking this guy's busted up.
I'm observing all of that and thinking like they live the way they want to live, and they don't even worry about some of the other stuff that everybody else is so consumed with, And it was just interesting to me, an observation that I made, that what people do to make themselves feel good or make them what they think is happy, and how it's so different from the way some other people live their lives. So you had your random thoughts, and there's mine.
I don't even know if I understand what the fuck yours was. I don't know. After thinking back on it, all I'm hearing is wah, 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 wah.
Really?
It was a lot of words. I don't know that I understand your point. Because what I know of those guys is that they were drinkers and back in the 90s druggers, and
well, I'm
they're
saying
like
everybody is like that works in this business.
I'm not saying that has to do with it. I'm saying these particular people.
Yeah,
but you know them personally, so you know
that
they were.
There are some people that live. They live hard. You know, like they're not worried
about
going to the gym. They don't go. You know what I'm saying? They're worried about happy hour. You know, like
right.
let's finish the day because we're going to go to the bar.
Right.
You know, so it's interesting to me, like how people think very differently from one to the next, and you know they live their lives so differently, and how they can justify, you know, like this is the way it is. I like being like this.
How do you know they like being like that?
Because they'll tell you. They'll tell you straight out. That's where I'm going.
You
with
have
the
this
whole thing.
conversation and say, you look pretty fucked up.
Yeah. Yes. Dude. Yeah. Yeah. So it made me think of that quote, and that's a famous quote that you've seen that used in commercials. You've seen it like used in many different things. That's like people will relate to that all the time. Maybe not word for word. So maybe go up and look for it and find out the actual words to it. Because I remember the gist of the quote by this famous author, and it was an observation that he made about his own life. That he lived like that. You know, he lived like he wasn't thinking about how long he was going to live. He was just thinking like, I'm going to do whatever makes me feel good today. And I don't care, you know, if I drop dead from liver disease or lung cancer or, you know, whatever. I like the way I feel when I do what I do, and that's what matters.
Well, then you won't mind if I take out like 10 grand to go get a facelift with you.
Yeah, you're the other side of the spectrum. Well, this is how I like to live. Yeah, it's an interesting time of the year because, you know, everybody in one form or another like thinks that they're going to try to do something to change their lives and improve it and whatever, you know, always around this time of the year. And most of us, we say it, but we don't do it. And then there's others that just don't even say it because they have no interest in it. You know, they're like, nah, I like it just the way it is. And in fact, as soon as we're done talking, I'm going to go do that. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for that profound thought.
Okay. Well, there you go.
See, mine are just random. Yours are profound.
Yeah, it's pretty deep, man.
Here's another.
It's deep, man.
Here's another deep thought. I just wanted to give a couple tips before we moved on. Also, another tip: hammernailspodcast.com.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
Please don't forget to go there, and you know it's our website. It's got a whole bunch of other things there. You can also click on the homepage there to see the links to the latest things that we've been up to, the latest TV appearances. You can see Skip on Fox and Friends there. And there's also the banners. There's the Amazon banners. Now listen, people, just go to the Amazon, click on that banner. And when it takes you to the Amazon page, bookmark that page so that every time you go to Amazon, you just go to your bookmark on your web browser there, because what that does is it helps us out a shit ton, because this is a free podcast in which we are making no money. We are doing it for you.
Is there actually like, is this shit ton actually like a measured ton of shit?
It's a ton of shit.
That's
Absolutely.
a lot of shit.
Yeah. Don't forget about going to our website, please, people. We put a lot of hard work into that.
Yeah. Check it out.
Yeah, and it's also the easiest way
I got
to
a lot
listen.
of good tips on there, too.
Yeah.
Stuff that you'll like to know about.
There's tips, and there's links to products, and if we talk about a product on the episode, you can go to the episode summary, and the links will be there.
There's even my holiday wish list if you decide you want to buy me a gift.
Yeah.
No, it's not for me.
Yeah, those are things you already have.
It's just stuff I like.
I just also wanted to give 2 tips of my own that that happened to me over the last couple of weeks. The first one is that when you told a story about how you poured gasoline all over yourself because you forgot to put the gas cap on the blower, the leaf blower. So after numerous attempts at cleaning the sweatpants and jacket in the washing machine unsuccessfully.
Because I had a leaf blower, an engine running on my back that the gas was spilling out of.
Yeah, and he was bending over and picking things up and pouring it on himself.
If you didn't hear that episode, I filled up a leaf blower with gas and forgot to put the cap back on the gas tank. So when I put it on my back like a backpack and continue to do my work. As I went to bend over to pick something up while it was on my back, the entire contents of the gas tank spilled down my back into my pants and my shoes.
And his clothes stunk very strongly, and I tried
I'm looking at them blow up and like
to wash those clothes. So ultimately what did the trick was baking soda. I put the entire box of baking soda into the washing machine with the clothes. No soap, just the baking soda. Put it through one cycle with extra hot water, and the smell was like 90% gone. And then I did another round with about another box of the baking soda, which is so cheap too. Baking soda is
If you ever
ridiculously
try
cheap.
to wash anything with gas on it or oil, like fuel oil, like diesel, or fuel oil, like heating oil, if you notice people that work in that business, also like auto mechanics or people that work on heating equipment, they always smell like diesel fuel. You can't get that smell to go away. Like your clothes are permanently smelling like that.
Well, the baking soda did the trick. The baking soda removed the smell of the gasoline, which is also oily. It removed it. You know, I saw lots of different things online to try, and that was the first one that I tried besides a bunch of detergent and OxyClean, which did not work. It worked like a charm.
OxyClean.
OxyClean.
It will clean everything. This is the guy with the headset that like runs around.
Oh, that's ShamWow.
Oh, shit. Yeah, he does OxyClean too, right?
No, it's a different guy. My other tip is, which is kind of ironic actually, considering that I was really pumping my hairdryer to people to let them know about what a huge difference a good hairdryer makes when you use something that has the ion technology and tourmaline in it, and it makes your hair smoother, less frizzy. It dries in half the time. It's a big difference using a quality hairdryer. So I was watching a video on hairdryers, and I was seeing the guy take the back portion off where the air goes in to clean out the lint, and it occurred to me, holy shit, I forgot about that completely. I have never cleaned the lint out of this hairdryer, ever. So the other day I was drying my hair. I got halfway done when that thought came back into my head. Oh yeah, let me clean out this lint because it will make it run more efficiently, because the lint is essentially blocking the airflow into the hairdryer by the fan that sucks it in. So I turned off the hairdryer, opened the back, took out all of the lint, put the back on, turned on the hairdryer, to which it would not turn on anymore.
Oh, you wrecked it.
I don't know how the fuck it just stopped working. It broke because I was hearing going, like it wasn't maintaining its hotness. So I was thinking, my engine's going. It turns out that I had so much lint back there. It had very poor airflow because of it. I'm sure I broke it, but I could not figure out why halfway through doing my hair. Wow. So people, ladies, men, open the back of your hairdryer where there's a vent that might open up. If you have a cheap hairdryer, they might not come off on the back, but the better ones, you can twist it off, take out the lint, and it will make the blow dryer last a lot longer.
Yeah.
And that's my tip for the
Well,
day.
it's like pretty much anything else that has a motor in it. Even like we use like industrial wet vacs and vacuums for the construction work and everything, and even like stuff like air movers and dehumidifiers. They all have air intakes, and they suck in whatever's in the room, so they get full of dust. And if you don't change that filter, it makes the motor work so much harder because it's trying to suck the air past that clogged filter that eventually it'll just burn the motor out. The motor gets so hot from working so hard that's it, you fry it.
That's what I did.
So that's what you did.
That's what I did.
Good job, Bedell.
Yeah, so now I was without a hairdryer. Yesterday I washed my hair, and I had to dry it with a travel hairdryer, which was not a pleasant experience. I looked like Attila the Hun. And then I had to use a flat iron to smooth it all out, which took a long time. And then later on discovered this morning that, holy shit, I've got my old Chi hairdryer in the bottom drawer in the bathroom, which I thought I had thrown away, but it turned out I had a good hairdryer in the house the whole time, and I used a travel dryer. But anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's some major news going on.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Very important stuff.
Hot flash. Hot flash.
Yeah.
No menopause. Anyway, so people, we just want to remind you that we really appreciate you coming back to listen to us. And
we're coming out to LA. Actually,
we're coming to LA.
We're,
we can't say when. We can't say why.
Oh, we can't talk
say
about
where.
all the secret stuff because you guys know we're always kind of undercover with what we're doing.
Yeah, but we're coming back soon.
Yeah, we'll have some good stories for you though.
Yeah, and also please remember that we look for your questions. We want to answer your questions. Skip wants more construction type questions.
I do. Please
DIY.
ask me some discussion, construction stuff or DIY remodeling questions. I'll be happy to answer any and all of them if I possibly can. And if I can't, I'll find out what you need to know and get back to you.
But we're talking about for the podcast. So, we want to talk about it on the podcast because that's what people say they want to hear. That's what we want to give them.
Yeah, hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, any of those sites and give us your questions and we will get them out.
Yeah, so please don't forget to check out hammerandnailspodcast.com and don't forget that we love you and thank you for coming back again.
Yeah, thanks guys.
Bye.
This is Corolla Digital.